In this video, we're going to show you the Dominican Republic and various reasons why they have high economic instabilities. Everything from healthcare to education to the way society is built, unemployment, population, and government spending. A huge part of the poverty, which is actually overlooked in most cases, is the rural areas constantly have to re-sow their fields because of natural disasters happening repeatedly. So therefore, they can never actually get a foothold in to feed their own populace, which makes actually more people hungrier, and then cost way more money because you have to keep putting more money into growing your fields, which end up not actually working. So you spend double, triple, quadruple the amount you normally would, and sometimes don't even see any return. Some of the bigger problems are the employment and education. 70% of the employed people work in the civil service industry. 1/3 live on less than $1.25 a day. 20% of the country lives in extreme poverty. This is also caused by part of the education, which is only 30% of children actually finish primary school, which affects the rest of their lives and they can never get a foothold. Government does not move more than 40% of the GOP spending on education, which shows they're not very interested in actually educating their populace. So the problems they have with society and healthcare is that half the country does not have access to clean water or even clean toilets for the simplest of tasks. But one of the biggest problems with healthcare is it's too expensive or hard to find, especially for the rural areas in the country where the government doesn't reach out as much. As you can imagine, being this poor, many of these citizens ended up living with many people in one house or small apartments because to save money and live together. The Dominican Republic economy is mostly based around the tourism industry. Other top industries are sugar, gold mining, and textiles.
Hello, welcome to DR Daily News. First, tell me a little bit about yourself.
My name is Kira Howard. I'm 27 years old from the Dominican Republic. I currently live by the beach, and I live about 10 minutes from my job where I own a hotel that is also beachfront.
What is it like owning a hotel?
So my usual activities are going to the hotel and kind of checking up and just overseeing what's going on in the hotel, making sure everything's running smoothly. I also manage our relationships with other businesses that want to either partner with us, do activities, banquets, or sell their products in our hotels.
What is your social life outside of work?
So outside of work, I'm usually at the beach or the gym. For social life, I'm usually at parties or dinners and things like that with my friends or work colleagues.
Okay. And what organizations do you give back to, and why do you give back to them?
So the first organization that I give back to are the hospitals. Mostly because in the rural areas, the hospitals aren't very good. There's not really a standard of healthcare, so people that usually get sick don't really get better very often. I also give back to schools, so that helps a lot of children finish their primary schools. They have a better chance at getting into better jobs so that they're not stuck in agriculture or mining or working in the services.
And it's to my understanding that you were recently in a car accident. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, so I had a car wreck a little while ago, and when I made it to the hospital, I had some pretty serious injuries, but because I could afford better hospital care, I made a pretty quick recovery and was right back to work within a matter of weeks.
Okay. How has your work affected your lifestyle?
So with my work, I'm able to afford a better lifestyle, so I have a car that I don't have to carpool with anyone to get back and forth to work and things like that. I can afford more food and better food than some people can. Hospital care, health care, and things like that are more affordable and available to me. But I also do have opportunities to give back more with my lifestyle.
Why do you think you were able to obtain your lifestyle?
So I finished primary school with good grades, and that kind of put me ahead of most people in the workforce. So with that, I kind of had opportunities to move up through the ranks. And after getting a little bit of backing and sponsorships, I was able to start my own hotel.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
No tengo dinero.
No tengo. Hola. Go. Go.
First, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Taylor. I have 2 kids. My husband recently passed away about 4 years ago, and I work for a temp service.
What is it like being a temp?
A temp, it's okay. I have to travel different distances to different jobs. I have to constantly adjust myself to the surroundings, because I could be in a hotel being a maid one day, or I could be a custodian at a local office or anything. So it's constantly changing.
What's your social life like?
It's really non-existent. I don't have time nor the money to have a social life. My main focus is to take care of my children and make sure we have a roof over our head and food to eat.
So what are some of your daily struggles?
My daily struggle is making sure that my children go to school, because sometimes that'd be kind of hard because we live such a far distance away from the school. Another struggle is making sure that I have the money and the food to provide for all 3 of us.
So how are your children affected by all this?
My children are affected because they have to take on adult roles at an early age. They have to sometimes get little jobs on the side, whether it's like shining shoes or selling whatever we have to get extra money so we can make it day to day.
And what happened to your husband?
He got in an accident at work. He used to work in the mines, and because we don't have access to get health care or either can afford good health care, he caught an infection, and because of the infection, he died.
So how is your living situation based on your pet?
My living situation is kind of really bad because the place where we live is not really like child proof or child safe. Well, safe for anyone at that, because we don't have potable water. Our lights are like really bad. One day they'll be out or they'll be halfway working, and it's really not safe for someone with 2 children to be living alone.
Also, how does the recent natural disaster affect your living situation?
It's affected my living situation. It made it worse than what it is, because now that this hurricane has come and gone, I have to like find somewhere else for my children to stay, and we have to constantly rebuild. I have to make it like walk further distances to my job or catch a ride with someone or anywhere in the area to get to work.
What is your hope for your children's future?
My hope for my children's future is to be better for our current situation. I either want my children to get famous, because I feel like that's the only way we can make it out of our current situation. If my son could become like a baseball player or a soccer player for somewhere in America, I feel like that would benefit us so much. And I really don't want my children growing up the way I had to grow up and how we currently living, because there's no way for a child to go through life.